Hello everybody, hello, can anybody hear me? Is my audio all good? Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna watch my own stream real quick to just make sure if the audio is fine, if my voice is fine, or if the music is fine. So, and definitely tell me if anything is wrong so I can, change it before the stream really starts. So, let me just make sure it is going okay on YouTube and upload on Twitch on YouTube as well. So, hang on one second. On Twitch, I think it's already good, but I do need to check one more time. Give me 1 second. And also, reminder, if you're watching this in the future, everything I talked about will be timestamped in the comments and in the description. So, yeah, so if you're watching this in the future, just skip to the part that you want to know, and yeah. And of course, if you want to ask me any questions, but you missed the stream, you can always ask me in our Discord or just comment down below, alright? So, alright, let me watch my own stream real quick just to make sure everything's fine, okay? Please ask me, just comment down below, right? Like, seems like that's fine. Okay, on Twitch is fine. How about YouTube? On YouTube is fine as well. Yeah, welcome. Hello everybody. Thank you all who is here. Okay, again, let me make sure it's going okay. Yeah. Okay, so on YouTube right now, I'm getting errors. Just let me know if it's fine. Okay. Hang on. Let me go on my desktop. Just make sure everything's fine. So. Yeah, yeah, definitely let me know on. Wait, what the heck? Yeah, definitely let me know on the comments to make sure if I'm good. Okay, never mind. Seems like it's fine. It's just my phone. All right. So, hello everybody. Hello. Is anybody here? Again, let me know if anything, if any of the audio is wrong. So, alright. Well, while we're waiting for more people to come, let me just go over some news. So. First news that I'm gonna talk about is actually not about Iron. Oh, hi December, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So, first news that is actually not gonna be about Iron Saga. Okay, sounds fine. Okay, awesome. So, the first news is actually about Hardcore Mecha are getting a new quote-unquote sequels, but it's not really a sequel. But yeah, it's the new mobile game for. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. The Hardcore is actually. I'm not sure if it's a sequel or not, but it is a mobile game version of the Hardcore Mecha game on Steam, which is pretty interesting. And from the gameplay that I see, you guys can watch the trailer right here. I don't think there's any trailer out on YouTube at the moment aside from mine. So definitely check my video on it if you want to know more, because it looks really promising. And I'll definitely be playing this game as well as the Steam version on my channel when it does release. So yeah, so that's the first news. And what else? And yeah, wait, hold on. Oh, 5 people, thank you so much for coming, thank you. Alright, so, alright, now, okay, so now we go into Iron Saga news. So now Iron Saga, I mean, there isn't too much news, it's just a new mecha coming out. That is the, I still don't know its name, so actually, it's some hold on. I'm just gonna click on my YouTube, there you go. The Kagutsuchi. That Kagutsuchi mecha, which people joke that it is Demon Blade Retrofit 2, but you become a banner unit, so kind of sad, I guess. But I do love the design, and if you guys watch my video on it, you guys can see that it is a really cool looking mecha and stuff like that. Yeah. Hello, Rain. Welcome, everybody. We're just waiting on people right now, so and I'm going over some news. All right. So for now, also new chapter. Yeah, new chapter is coming out on Iron Saga NC, so that would be pretty interesting. More details of this stage are in our Discord, so if you guys want to know, just join Discord. What else? Oh, and of course, I upload a new Mecha Break technology, what's called technology showcase. So if you guys want to know about the models and how the game works and the rendering and stuff like that, I have a video on that as well, so you guys can see that as well. I also uploaded all of the videos on the Gao Gaigar collab between Iron Saga, so definitely check that out if you guys want to know more about those mecha too. And of course, the Mazinger Zero fighting in PvP, making me fall asleep. That one is pretty fun. So. Alright, so is that what the news? Yeah. So if you're here for if you're here for what's it called? Yeah, if you're here for Hardcore Mecha, and if you're here for Mecha Break, just know I'll have more video on that coming out soon. And of course, for Iron Saga, I'll also have more video on that as well, because I'll be uploading Mazinger Zero and Leviathan's video soon. So let me stay tuned on that. Alright, so okay, that should be it about the news. Alright, hold on. Let me just check if. Also, let me know if the stream is okay, alright? Because right now it's at 1 bar, so I just want to make sure that, you know, everything is fine, nothing's going bad. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to my channel just to check if everything is fine. And again, if you're watching this in the future, just know everything I talked about will be timestamped in the comments and in the description. So, sure that, you know, and please consider giving me a like and subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. And yeah, alright, so let's start with so today we'll be going over Himiko Retrofit, which is a very interesting mecha that I do want to talk about, a very interesting upgrade. And of course, we'll also be talking about the new 2 pilots that came out with the Kenomimi, which they are both pretty awesome and pretty good looking. So, and of course, we'll be talking about the newest Iron Saga Retrofit, that is the Tawil Superstring Retrofit too. Alright, so well, yeah. Since there are people here already, let's start with Himiko Retrofit. So Himiko Kagura, she definitely got it. Well, first of all, it is surprising that Himiko got a retrofit this early on, over so many mecha at the moment. So we go down here, right? Himiko skipped like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, is it like 5, 6, 7, if not more mecha? And got a retrofit. And the thing is, Himiko is still usable. Himiko is still usable. Well, it's not. If it is obviously not meta anymore, but Himiko is still usable in both PvP and PvE, and have its own purposes, in both of that too. And it is really interesting that why did she get a retrofit this early on? Because Himiko was a meta breaker at the time. You have everything. You know, it got cleansing, it got overwhelming. It got overwhelming defense. It got overwhelming attack strength as well. You know, revive and stuff like that. It's insanity. And now we already got a trophy of this guy. Come on. What about other units such as Hila, Horace Valgar, and some other mecha? You know, where are their retrofit? I feel like at this point they just shouldn't retrofit those units just so, you know, it doesn't, I guess, break the chain, I guess. I don't know. Or I guess when they, I couldn't imagine some other retrofit, like Marine retrofit, being as good as Himiko. I mean, we already have Marine retrofit, but you know, some other mecha being better than Himiko. So, alright, well, going back to Himiko retrofit. So let me Okay, so going back to Himiko retrofit. So now, first let's start with on its chassis. So now Himiko has a 30% chance to block all attacks stackable. Now, this word Meow, 欢迎，谢谢，哎呀 ，thank you so much for coming, thank you. So, it went from 20% to 30% chance to block all attack. Now, it already sounds kind of insane, right? It might not, okay, for new player, it might not sound as crazy, but if you think about it, 30% chance to block all attack, and you can stack it with some other parts, that's just, overwhelming defense is the only words that I can, you know, talk. Cause, you know, every 3 attacks it will block once, you know, statistically, and usually if you stack it with some other builds, you can actually make it block, you know, much more. It would take so little amount of damage in today's battle because, you know, there are so many multi hits, and all of them could have a chance of being blocked, you know, by this chassis, which is, you know, very. I mean, this chassis has already always, or I guess chance blockage in this game has always been really strong in both, honestly, in PvP in general. So, and of course, once every 2 seconds, you know, back then it's 3 seconds, now it upgraded to 2 seconds. Notify all status condition received and deal 180% damage with melee attack in the in the next 1 second. Now, for those who not, okay, first of all, you know, every 2 seconds notifying it's all status condition. That's broken already. This skill alone allows Himiko to not need either, you know, to not need any anti status effect, anti CCs, because, you know, it will just cleanse itself. It's insanity. And aside from status conditions, it can actually nullify some of the, I guess, the detrimental effect of some skills. For example, if you're using it from Ryoma, from Get to Collab, it can actually prevent it from having lower SPs, so it can basically, you know, gain attack infinitely with Himiko. So this will end. Back then it's 3 seconds, so in the 2 seconds there are still chances that it can get stunned, it can get electrocuted and stuff like that. But now with every 2 seconds, it can there will be less chance of that happening, which is again very powerful. And of course, dealing 180% damage with melee attacks in the next 1 second are also very strong, because this skill alone open up the critical meta, like the critical hit meta, where because first of all, critical hits usually go, well, it doesn't go over firm steel, but it will double the firm steel attacks. So what happened was, back then what happened with Himiko is Himiko will grab you, and then it will crit this, and it will crit this attack, and just end whoever Himiko caught instantly, because it just do so much damage to him in so little amount of time and so much multi hits, just killing the enemy instantly. Is it stackable with crab and tilted? Yes. Well, I don't think it stacks as in like it will stack on top of it, but it will calculate separately. So it will calculate the Himiko's one, and it will also calculate the crab's one, and if both goes through the attack, then you'll take the damage. But if one of them blocks it, then it won't take any damage, which is still pretty awesome. So yeah, but yeah. Again, Himiko, this skill has already been very strong back then with Himiko, but it is still very strong now, even without the upgrades. So yeah, and now with the upgrades, now it just became even better in both PvP and PvE. So yeah, and of course, because this critical hits are also strong in PvE, so now every 2 seconds you can crit now. That's just pretty awesome. There's only 1 second window where it will not crit, which is again very insane as well. And now, of course, the second chest, we have basically a revive. Well, it's not a revive, it's more of a transformation. So that when HP drop below 50%, use basically the self revive. And after it does revive, it will damage all enemies, and of course, it will also gain a lot of buff, like 50% bonus on the attack, defense, and action cooldown and switching speed, which is again, everything is also really awesome in PvP. Now, this skill alone wouldn't be as strong anymore into this meta. However, what they added in the end, well, this skill does not apply, or this skill does not need Himiko to I guess to revive to use it. This skill will just be applied right away. So applies an additional 30% beam attribute damage for self melee attack. Now, hello, welcome, yeah, welcome. Now, this is a bit tricky in the wording, because if you don't know about the Chinese text of this skill, you will not know what the heck is going on. Applies an additional. Now, additional damage is different from normal type damage. Additional damage is actually not, I guess, it's not counted as your attack. It's an additional attack. It's an applied attack in the codings, I guess. So this 30% beam attribute damage will not show up in test. Yeah. So if you go into test right now, right? The 30% damage is not gonna show up. Yeah. The 30% damage is not gonna show up. Like, you see how it's doing, like whole numbers. That means the 30% attack is not is not applied. If we just look at the DPS and the damage, you can see the differences. And this also means it will not show up in the final results, which will make Himiko looks a little bit bad on paper when it actually do 30% more damage. So this means if you're using Himiko Retrofit, you will have to add 30% of its damage to it. Then it will be its real DPS in both PvP and in PvE. And another crazy thing about this attack is that because it is an additional damage, first of all, it will not be affected by your own buff. It will only be affected by how much damage you deal. Like let's say you do 100 damage, then this effect will make the damage to 130 damage, but the 30 will obviously not be shown anywhere. However, because it wouldn't be shown anywhere, this damage doesn't really count as, like, I guess it's counted differently in the code, where if this damage was dealt, I guess, like, for example, let's say the enemy are at very low health, right? Let's say the enemy are at like 100 health after your attack. The 30% damage, if it is exceed that amount of health, it can just kill the unit outright. Doesn't matter if it have revived, and doesn't matter if it have unyielding or something like that. It doesn't matter because the effect is not from you, right? The effect is from some void. And even if you have 1 health, and if you have a revive, it will not trigger the revive if this attack is dealt, which is insanity. Which also makes Himiko really strong in PvP. Or even better in PvP. Aside from the 30% damage buff, it will also ignore revive and ignore. But the thing is, the chance of that happening is pretty low because you require this 30% damage to be applied on its last health, so it will be it might be a bit hard for it to actually apply. But it is something that can happen, so just keep in mind that. So if you ever wonder why you're gonna die immediately despite you have revive, it might be because of the 30% beam attribute damage dealt when it was at very, very low health. So, and of course, because it doesn't affect, revive, it ignores revive, it ignores unyieldings. Of course, it will ignores everything the enemies have, or it will be affected by enemies' final defense and some other like final stats reductions. However, overall, it will not be affected by everything. So, it will ignore firm steel, it will ignore, stuff like that. So, yeah. So that should be enough on its chassis. Let's go on its weapon now. Its weapon, I already talked about it in in my Himiko, guide video, which I think I already go over everything there, but I just want to talk about it again because the only downside for Himiko was actually its weapons. So, you see this 4 weapon, you see this 4 shot over here, right? So before Retrofit, one of the biggest problem for Himiko is that it will use all of this first. Yeah, it will act as a long range mecha before it will use any of its strong melee weapon. Even though these 4 attacks have I guess iframes and also have a melee hitbox, but it is still detrimental that they have to use all 4 of them before it will use a strong attack. However, Retrofit did fix this by having a new action that does have I guess a teleportation that will allow like this move that will allow it to use this first before it uses its 4 weapon skills. But this 4 weapon skill is not terrible because this weapon is iframe and also does okay damage, and of course it will apply some CC effect as well. And of course we have the 2 fist melee at the beginning. This means it can open up Himiko to use claws, which again claws are usually best with Himiko because Himiko can do a tons of multi hits that can trigger claws a lot for it to heal a lot more than if you were to use something like absorption shell and stuff like that. So, but the sad thing is that it is a 3-star fist, so we couldn't use super robot fist, but you wouldn't use it anyway, into this meta, especially when we have that new PvE beam sword out that you'll be using that instead of the thing. But still, it's good that I have the claws, so you can use you can use it with Byron, with Byron Awaken plus claw to have some insane sustainability on the field. So, and of course we've got the sword melee, and all these 4 sword melee is also good that they're listing out, so it can be buffed by Majin cores to do even more DPS in PvE. So yeah. Alright, so now on to its unique ability. So nothing much really changed. Every other skills are, I guess, well, they did get an upgrade. Obviously, all the order skill got an upgrade, and the last skill can actually grab the big boss now. So it can actually be used in Court Boss PvE, which back then Himiko couldn't do Court Boss PvE because its XL couldn't grab the boss, but now it can. So it can actually do some damage in Court Boss PvE as well. And of course, its new action also does massive. It is your standard today's godly, high damage mecha or high damage action. I believe it does like almost 20k, if not over 20k, even without like the 30%, even without the 30% damage applied. But you can see already here that's how strong it is. So. And of course, you got your standard force grab. Now, you see this skill can grab court bosses now or large units, so it'll be pretty good in PvP. So in PvE. So, and of course, all of her other skill are just as is because her other skill are already strong enough. Because a lot of her skills, like a lot of these flower skills, they actually have the same properties as smokes, or I guess as I guess how to say it? As mists in this game, like mist attacks. Mist attacks are like usually have slower damage, but have a lot of hits because they're a mist, right? Like poison mist and all that. But it's Himiko we're talking about. You're not gonna do little damage with the mist attack. Like a mist attack can proc your firm steel. So if every mist attack can proc your firm steel, your mecha is gonna die in 2 seconds if they don't have anything other than firm steel, right? Today obviously we have things like final damage reduction. We got some other defensive skill like immunity. Obviously Himiko couldn't be as scary as it is, but if the mecha doesn't have anything aside from the firm steel protecting it, then having firm steel would be as if naked against Himiko. So yeah. That's also why Himiko was so strong back then. People were using 3 copies and stuff like that. So but yeah, so I think that should be all about Himiko. Oh, and also yeah, the new action is a force grab as well. So I mean it should be every good PvP mecha now should have a force grab. So you got a new force grab, so, and we all know how strong force grab in PvP is as well. So oh yeah, so and also they did change the sprite a little bit, which is pretty awesome because a lot of times when they Retrofit they don't change the sprite. I think that's pretty lazy, but now they did change the sprite. They did change the art and the sprite of it, so that's pretty awesome as well. So and then of course the Retrofit also give it some HP buff and stuff like that, so that's also really good. Alright, so I think that should be all about Himiko overview. So now and I think I will talk about if it's worth it after I talk about the guides, or should I? I'll talk about it now. Yeah, I'll talk about it now. But actually, I'll talk about it now. So, is Himiko Kagura worth it? Yes. If you already have Himiko already. Now, it's never worth it to pull for old mecha. Now, Himiko is still usable, but again, compared to a new mecha that's coming out, compared to Dante or some other mecha that I can pull right now, Himiko is not worth it. Because the thing is, older mecha had a problem where their action by itself are a bit hard to compare with some of the mecha, today, right? And Himiko is easily counterable by using fork and stuff like that, right? So, I highly recommend to Retrofit if you already have your Himiko at 7-star. Yeah, if you have your Himiko at 7-star, then yes, then I will try to get 2 more copies to Retrofit it, but that's it. Or if you have like at 8-star, definitely get 1 more copy to Retrofit it, but that's it. If you only have 6-star or even 5-star, then I don't really think it's worth it, because again, putting for older mecha is much less worth it than putting for new mecha coming out, especially when we got Gawaga coming soon, especially we got cheating coming soon. Why would you pull for Himiko, right? Himiko's stats, like, even though you got all these buffs, it's save your money, right? Save your money on your mecha if you don't have Himiko. And this is mainly for people who pull for these are mainly for people who pulled for Himiko back then, for them to have for them to, I guess, get their money worth again, or have them to pull 1 more copy or 2 more copies so they can get Himiko Retrofit. So but let's say if you get 3 copies from the scam ball, right? Then you probably should pull 2 more copies, because Himiko is a really strong mecha in the game. And there are things that Himiko couldn't. There are things that only Himiko can do, like for example, self cleanse every 2 seconds. This is the only thing, this thing is the only thing that Himiko can do. No one else can really do that. So yeah. So this is up to you. If you like the mecha, let's say if you like the mecha, right? You like the mecha design and stuff like that, then you want to get it. Then yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth to get it. Yeah, but again, just know that again, old mecha is I'll never recommend someone to get an older mecha in this game. So especially for this game. So stat wise. Alright, so now let's get into the builds. Now the builds you can still use my old builds on Himiko, on Unretrofit Himiko, but there are some new updated things that I want to talk about. So let's get into that. So let's start on PvP builds. So then close this one. So now let's start for Himiko PvP builds. Now I know that Ian doesn't have Tau yet. Yeah, Ian doesn't have Tau Awaken yet, but I'm putting it here because Tau plus Himiko Awaken are the perfect combo. So I want people to know this when Tau Awaken came out. for Himiko. So this is what I have Tau here. And now we'll talk about what pilot that in EN right now that people can use to, I guess, for them to use it now. But for now, I'm putting Tau here just because, in my opinion, this is the perfect combo. So now, starting from its parts, now see back then you'll probably use something like hydraulic or some other ones, here. But obviously now everyone should be using the purple joint if you are able to. If you're not able to, definitely use hydraulic, because the thing about Himiko's problem still exists, that it will use its weapon first before it uses its action, right? So by having a part that purely reduces action cooldown can effectively make it do more action before it can before it will throw out its stupid range attacks, right? So, and of course it is just better in PvP because with the purple parts you will also do a good amount of damage to the enemy itself. And and Himiko have enough sustainability for it to mitigate the effect. I mean, most mecha nowadays can have the ability to mitigate the effect of downside of the purple joints. So yeah, purple joint and hydraulic. No other parts that are recommended for PvP. Again, this is a PvP build, right? PvP build. Now for the armor, yeah, Kiwi, welcome, Kiwi, welcome. Now for the bullet parts, claws. Yeah, there's really no other weapon that really no other bullet that you should use other than claws. Claws, because the thing about Himiko and why it's so strong and do so much damage is because it's multi-hits. You can do insane amount of multi-hits from the myths. So all this have a chance to activate claws for it to heal a lot more. So claws, yeah, there isn't really another reason to not use claws. Of course, if you don't have claws, you can use oxygen shell, and if you're free to play, you can also use this oxygen shell, the green one. Other than that, in PvP, there isn't really anything worth going into. So yeah, and of course, claw also increases grab range, which that's also pretty good too. So, and if you pair this with Byron Awaken, your Himiko will also be very, very strong. But the thing is, Byron Awaken will probably be better on someone else. So. And now for the support part now. Himiko, although is strong, although you have everything right, I think compared to today's mecha, it still feels a little bit old on its movement speed. Its movement speed, its actions, they feel a little bit not slow per se, but a little bit floaty, I guess. So this arc can make Himiko be vulnerable to enemies' fast attacks, like fast grab, like those all range weapons and stuff like that, right? So I will just use emergency detach just in case, if possible, because again, Himiko, you never know if someone can one-shot Himiko. Especially when you get unlucky and all the block chance are ignored. So yeah. However, of course, if you are not using a co-pilot skill that are using stillness or some other anti-knockdown skills, then yeah, you probably should use chassis stabilizer. In fact, most people will probably be using chassis stabilizer thinking that Himiko wouldn't be bursted, but Himiko wouldn't be bursted because it got revived. But I just want to be a little bit extra safe, so I'm using emergency detach, especially with Tawil Awaken. Yeah, especially with Tawil Awaken, where she doesn't have as much skills to prevent it from being killed. That's why because you're not using Byron on this one, so yeah. If you're using Byron on this one, then obviously chassis stabilizer. Byron is not gonna get your Himiko killed, so you don't need emergency detach, and Byron couldn't have any anti-knockdown skill anyway as well. So yeah, just emergency detach or chassis stabilizers. And now for the armor, obviously there isn't really any armor that you should use aside from firm steel to this meta, just like this. All the other armors are just completely garbage. So yeah, just don't use any other armor. The only case that you will be using Himiko with other armor is with forks in either 1v1 against another Himiko, or if you're using a pilot that already have firm steel, then of course you can use the the tuning fork, so you can do some stunning on the enemy side when they're doing attack. But other than that, just firm steel is the way to go all the time. And now for the coatings. Now the coatings, even though it suggests liquid armor, but in my opinion, the armor is the way to go because again, the block chance, the block chance is quote unquote stackable, but it is calculated differently. And having a first of all, when you get attacked, you got a 30% chance to block an attack. Let's say if that didn't go through, then you have another 20% chance to block it, and if that goes through, then you'll take damage. But for the attack to go through both, that can be a little bit hard. So this is the reason why I'm using tilted armor and some other. I mean, you can use some other coating like liquid outer armor. You can even use some other more niche I guess coating sets, but tilted armor in my opinion are the way to go for Himiko, just like always. And now for the pets, obviously you want to go, well, in my opinion, Steel Mantis are the way to go, because Steel Mantis put tilted armor, we will call this a turtle build, like a turbo, because Mantis block have a 30% chance to block on the side and on the back. Tilted armor have a 20% chance to block in the front. So on all sides, you have a chance to block all of the attacks. Now that's very strong. Combine this with a 30% chance of Himiko, that's insane. Essentially every time you take damage, it's like catching a Pokemon. It will shake once, it will shake another time, and then you will catch it. But if any of those times that it missed the mark, then the Pokemon will escape. It's kind of the same, I guess, chance calculation, I guess. So this is why I go with a turtle one. Combine this with the 30% chance of Himiko's blocking. It can really make a lot of the attack just not do any damage, because the best way to survive in this meta right now is to not take any damage. So yeah, I guess because when you take damage, usually you will get screwed. No matter how strong you are, like when you get grabbed. But if you have a block chance where you won't take any damage at all, then that's even better. So, and of course, because having an attack to go through a 30% and then another 30%, I think that's pretty hard already. So I would really calculate that as a 60% chance on blocking enemies attack. So yeah. And of course, the Cobra skill really depends on the mecha. Cobra skill really depends on the pilots that you're using. If you're using a pilot that doesn't have certain things, like for example, this build right now, right? This build right now does not have any anti-knockdown. That's why I'm using Stillness, because Stillness is anti-knockdown. Same thing with, Tower Weekend doesn't have any, anti-knockdown as well, so you should use anti-knockdown. But let's say if you are using Chassis Stabilizer, then of course you can use some other ones like, I don't know, some support skill, like that you can use Love, you can use, I don't know, like some other supportive skill, just, anything, anything you want. Anything that can strengthen it, or just to cover up anything that you might not have in PvP, so. Yeah, but I'm gonna put on Stillness for now, because, Stillness is, in my opinion, or Stillness plus, Emergency Touch is what I will go with, so. Yeah, to win, you just not taking any damage, very simple. Yep, you cannot if you just block everything. Yeah, exactly. But this is the reason why Himiko can at least survive in this meta, because it just doesn't take any damage at all, so. Oh, and back to the pet. Now, if you don't have Mantis, right? I know, because your Mantis isn't used as much anymore, because, Pisces is a thing. So a lot of people actually doesn't have Mantis. A lot of people actually have, Pisces instead. Now, Pisces works. Yeah, Pisces does work, but in my opinion, it's such a waste to not take advantage of the 30% chance block chance for Himiko. Like, since Himiko have the 30% block chance, why don't you abuse it? Like, why don't you go even deeper? Like, you go full on block chance mode, right? Go full block chance, go full block chance mode. I think is more worthy to have. But the thing is, let's say if you don't have Mantis and you only have Pisces, then yeah, Pisces will be a really good pet to go as well. So, but yeah, alright, so that should be it about the PvP builds. And the reason why, okay, so now I'm gonna get into why I use Taulu. Now, Taulu is strong because Taulu, right? Taulu, every second that it is in stealth, which she can stealth by herself, she will, every 1 second, she will increase final damage value by 1,000. So you go into a stealth for 5 seconds, you do 5,000 damage. And remember what I said, it's final damage value. Final damage value go over firm seal. That means the enemy mech will take 5,000 damage if she is in stealth for 5 seconds. And usually you can make her stealth go much more than that. But let's say she only go to stealth for 3 seconds, right? She only go in stealth for 3 seconds. And yeah, she only let's use 5 seconds as a base, right? She go into stealth for 5 seconds. She got the killing blow up to 5k. So what happens is she will first attack the mecha that have, she will first attack the mecha. The mecha will take 5,000 damage, right? And after that, let's say that mecha have 7,000 health, right? And it take what? And it take 5,000 damage. And it take 5,000 damage, and it only have 2,000 left. That's not enough, right? But reminder, Himiko's additional attack, right? Hold on, yeah, Himiko's additional attack dealt damage based on how much damage you dealt. So, and it also ignore firm steel. So that means it will add another, so 5,000 times 1.3. How much is that? Let's calculate that right now, right? So hold on. Let me go into my calculators, right? My math is garbage, so yeah. So see, 5,000 times 1.3, 6,500. A lot of the mecha today, right? I mean, a lot of mecha today are, have, over 10k, HP. But let's say the mecha is at half health. Then this one single blow is enough to kill the enemy mecha. Because, see, first is one hit, and then plus another 30% that ignores everything, including revives. And it would just kill them outright. So this is the reason why Taulu is so strong on Himiko Kagura, because Himiko just have such a high additional value percentage that will just vaporize enemies. So I'm gonna make Himiko Retrofit fight a very meaty mecha. That is Galgaigar mecha right now, right? So actually, we can even see it here. Actually, never mind. It's a bit too hard to see, but let's have it fight Galgaigar, right? And you will see how insane it is. So we're gonna get Galgaigar to start fighting. Come on. See, usually Galgaigar wouldn't get in solo HP this fast, but one hit is able to get Galgaigar at half health. Death. Game. See, Galgaigar is a meaty mecha. There's no way that it would die this fast, or that it will die to Himiko. But with Taulu Awaken, they can. With Taulu Awaken, anything can die to it, because it's One Punch Man. See, what is that? 15,000 attack. Yeah. 15,000, 15,000 attack, or 15,000 damage. So if your mecha's HP is not more than 15,000, instant kill. So yeah, just showing the example on why Taulu Awaken. Now, of course, Ian doesn't have Taulu Awaken right now, because if Ian does have that, it will kind of break the game. It already broke the game back in NC, right? So, but yeah, let's go over some pilots in Ian right now that people can use. So for Ian right now, what people can use, obviously Edith. Edith back in NC, there was people using Edith. Awaken, or using Edith Awaken on it. But honestly, a lot of mecha, and for Edith Awaken, I should probably use something, because I think Edith Awaken can already anti-knockdown. But you know what? I'm just putting it here just because Edith Awaken works. And of course, you can even put it on things like Alicia. Not her. Alicia Awaken. Yeah, Alicia Awaken will work as well. See, Himiko is not picky about pilots, because Himiko can already Vesper. Vesper works as well. Himiko can see, for a mecha that can already do everything. It can self cleanse. You have a revive. Do you really need any pilot to improve its survivability or make it do more damage? No, you really don't need to. There isn't really any other. You can put anyone on it. You can even put her on it if you want, like the support pilot on it if you want. Himiko is not picky about pilot. Well, obviously you will want to use a pilot that more it's better to specialize a pilot that is better at meleeing, that is better at using actions, because it'll just be better in PvE. However, just to show that it really doesn't matter, right? You can put Becca's on it, right? Becca's have the action cooldown buff. It have a revive. It have another revive, and which all of them are pretty good in PvP. So Byron, of course, is also really good. But again, for Byron, you will want to use this one, and for the support, you can probably just put some love or some other support or some support skill. Yu will edit awaken skill used after she dies. I'm not too sure actually. I believe some of the linger. I believe if the buff are already applied, then it can probably affect. But I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I wish I know that, but I don't think that that'll matter as much because if you're putting on Himiko, it's likely as long as you build it well, Himiko shouldn't be one-shotted. Yeah, so don't worry about it. Yeah, unless you're putting edit on like a easy to die unit, but I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, I wouldn't. But yeah, overall, Himiko, awesome mecha. Gosh. Hold on. Oh gosh. Okay. Alright, well. Hold on. Let me drink some water real quick. Alright, so now that's the PvP build. Now let's get into PvE builds, right? So PvE build. Now in PvE, right, Himiko has the same attack, has the same, I guess, it's T0, it's top 0%, it's like, it has the same DPS, or not same DPS, it had DPS on par with Dante, even Dante right now, even Dante, and even Rebelio as well. So if you're getting this mecha, you can obviously use her as one of the best DPS at the moment. And this will be, and the build will be something like this, something simple like, oh, welcome. Yeah. So, obviously for the core, Majin core, in PvE there isn't really other core that they should use aside from Majin core for DPS, because you just gain more, final damage increase. And then we are using the new parts for Himiko just for it to do even more damage, because this one just do a lot more damage. However, let's say if you don't have this unit, because it is let's say if you don't have this part, because it is a new part, then obviously you will want to go back to Hyper Beam Sword, because it just increase final damage increase. For the part, for the support, obviously just the fist. You can also use a green one for even less gold, and also add the same damage. Add the same damage, as it's also really good. And there isn't really any other one that I should use in PvE, because Himiko is not gonna die in PvE as long you build your team right. So, and of course for the parts you want to use Firm Seal, because you don't know how strong the boss is. The boss might kill you instantly, so Firm Seal might be pretty essential. However, let's say if you know the boss is not gonna kill you instantly and the boss are melee focused, then obviously you can use something like Fork. So. Oh, then Himiko, you should run junior attack and use ult for Seal. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Okay, you know what? Yeah. So the Kiwi said if you're using then Wicked, you can probably use ult. The ult Seal, that also work as well. So yeah, I don't remember it being too much of a problem for me though. But definitely test it out, right? If you are using the old one, do more damage, then use the older one. If you're using a new one, you do more damage, then use a new one. It's up to you and for your own experience. And now for the coatings, obviously you want to go for something like a Baihu coat, so you can use Linda's active skill or whatever palette you using active skill on faster if it does more damage. But usually the palette that you want to put on Himiko are the one that you want to use active skill soon. So Baihu coat is every one that you want to use. And now for the pets, you're using Benson just for even more final damage increase. 10% more final damage increase is just pretty awesome. If you have a better one, like if you have this one, it will add 12%, which is really good. And let's see if you don't have this one as well, you can use obviously something like the fire, the fire rabbit for even more action cooldowns. You can even use something like Scorpion if you want to. Depending on what you have, right? But for cheaper and for the universal use, Benson, I think in my opinion are the best use for it to use. So, oh, I see. Yeah, then yeah. If that's a problem, then yeah, definitely use back the ult for skill. So, alright, yeah, ult for skill, and some other co-pilot skill as well. So, And yeah, so co-pilot, yeah, for pet, honestly, most DPS pet should be fine. Again, you shouldn't be going for defense in PvE because your firm should be able to tank everything as long as you build a team right. If your Himiko is dying in PvE, then something is wrong. So something is wrong on your team, or you're not really, or the boss can do something that you're not, building towards, that'll be essential for you to build towards. So. And now for the co-pilot skill. Now, like Kiwi said, apparently the old skill have a chance to be cancelled if it's going too fast. So definitely test this out yourself to see if this is a problem depending on the boss, right? So, but universally for Linda Awaken, you will want to use Hongwu Awaken, right? You will want to use Hongwu's tech co-pilot skill. However, if you are not using Hongwu's co-pilot skill, you can obviously use some other ones, right? 100% chance. Oh, really? Okay. Well, still test it out, though, Maybe they'll fix a bug sometimes, hopefully. So, yeah. Hopefully. I assume it's this one, right? Or some other ones, right? Let me see, hold on. Yeah, but if you're not using, if you're not using, Hongwu, right? Then obviously use some other, like, maybe Barmoth, maybe Barmoth will work, or, what's it called? Shigeru's tech will also work as well. Where's Shigeru? Yeah, her, right? Yeah, her. She just adds a 21% final. Actually, yeah, she might be the best one, honestly. Yeah, true. Yeah, this one, yeah. Yeah, so if Hongwu is not working for you, if Barmoth is not working for you, then yeah, definitely go for her, and that should work as well. So yeah. But again, definitely test it out. Yeah, definitely test it out. Hello, enemy list. Just stop by a little. Yeah, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. How damage without attack though. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Well, yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, you have options, I guess. Yeah, you have options. So. So that should be it about the Linda one. So now you don't need to have Linda on it, and especially when you make it come out, like for example, let's say if you want to use Dante on, let's say if you want to use Dante, on let's say if you want to use Linda on Dante, right, or some other, or Rebellion and stuff like that, right? You can also use another DPS pilot on it, like for example, Elaine. Elaine can also be used as a DPS pilot on it. It's pretty much the same build, honestly. Just even more. But different is Elaine does have an attack co-pilot skills, and with this you obviously want to use focus fire for more final damage increase. So Dante, who wins? They are both the same. Yeah, they're about the same. Dante looks better on the results because Dante, doesn't have hidden damage. However, Himiko have hidden damage, so on paper, Himiko might look a little bit worse. However, if you want to roll for both, roll Dante. Yeah, not because Dante is better, but because Dante is a newer mecha, right? Maybe in the future there might be a Dante Retrofit, making Dante even stronger, right? So Dante is always better. It's always better to get new units. So, however, I would recommend Dante with. Let's say if you have Dante and you have Himiko, right? I think Dante should be with Elaine, because Elaine can get more final damage increase, or final damage increase, because Dante have more action and have more stuff. I think at least if they're the same, then it doesn't matter. But if Dante have more, then definitely use Elaine on it, right? So I think that should be pretty good. So yeah, but let me test it out, because again I didn't check. So yeah. Fisher is now old lady. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. But honestly, yeah, Himiko just, how do you say? It's a really good improvement on Himiko, which again, old Himiko is still usable. Like, it's totally still usable. Like, why don't they retrofit with something like Wolong or something? Like why don't they do that instead of Himiko? But anyway, Himiko now is definitely usable in both PvP and PvE. Now, it wouldn't be the best because it is the older mecha. If you pair it against Dante, then Dante can probably wipe Himiko's floor in PvP. In PvE, they may do the same damage, but in the end, Dante Retrofit is gonna come out someday, consider Dante is such a good unit to have. By then, you know, Himiko will be, you know, 6 feet under. So, you know, sadly. However, if you are using Ryoma, right? Like, let's say if you're using Ryoma in PvP, then obviously you won't want to go for Himiko, because, you know, Himiko can make Ryoma's, yeah, hold on. Can make Ryoma's 4th skill go infinitely, right? So, yeah. And I guess we can go for, you know, her attack as well. So, something like this will definitely work as well. Because, so Ryoma's, Ryoma's 4th skill can also, you know, can activate infinitely. Because, you know, for some reason, Himiko can nullify the downside of Ryoma, which is, I don't know, pretty insane. So, alright, so that should be it about Himiko. Everything about Himiko. The last thing I want to say, I guess, is just for those who might, not, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that already. But if you go into my team, right? If you go to Boss Conquest and if you go to Himiko, you can see me using double Himiko team. Yeah, you can see me using double Himiko team, which works. Again, both of Himiko are the top DPS. So yeah. So and if you guys want to see how strong it is, then you know, you guys can definitely check it out. So, alright, so now I'm gonna talk about the new pilots first. Yeah, because again, Taulu Retrofit, I am not that familiar with, but I will still talk about it because, you know, it did get a very strong experience. Now, for the 2 new Kenon Mimi pilots, they're both pretty awesome actually, but you know, they're obviously not up to, you know, the Awakened pilots now standards. Now, for the first one, Nureha. So honestly, all of her skills, you're not gonna be using them at all. All of her other skills are just not great at all. It's not even that great. It's just you're not using them. The only skill that really matters are stack off. So now, if not attacking for 0.5 seconds, Nureha keep healing for the piloting mecha. The healing amount will be scaled up with increased skill level. Now, that is a good amount of heal increase. And why is this one so good? Now, it is mainly because, when you're not doing any damage, right? What's happening when you're not doing any damage? It's when you get grabbed. Now, hold on. This is level 1, but let me see if I can get a level 5 one. So, hang on. So the healing will start. You will start healing when you're taking damage. You know, when you get into a grab in a long combo, but her skill can start, I guess, prevent you from, or make you take less damage. Or I guess when you're taking damage, you will also be healing a lot because you are, you know, you're not attacking, right? You're in a grab and you're being, you know, punched around and you're being attacked. All those times you'll be healing a good amount of HP, making it more, I guess, making you less likely to die, you know, in one combo, I guess. So that actually makes it very, very strong. Let me get into it. Where is she? There you go. Okay, so where is her co-pilot skill? Yeah, there you go. Her. So her last skill is definitely the one that you want to upgrade it immediately, like get it to max, and she will be a very, very strong, you know, support co-pilot skill in PvP. So as you can see, it heals pretty fast. Yeah, it heals pretty fast. It's probably the fastest healing, like per second healing in the game. So yeah, pretty awesome. See, when you're in the grab, right? You know, when enemy grabs you and attacking you, you will keep on healing like this, which is, you know, again, pretty, really strong. So yeah, and honestly, this is all that about her. She doesn't have anything too special aside from this corporate skill, but people will still pay $30 to get this pilot because she is the few good support co-pilot skill in the game. Because, you know, let's say if you're using Rhea. Rhea doesn't have a good co-pilot at all. She have what? She have control, which not much are good in PvP. Attack also not much good in PvP. And and tech some are going to PvP, like maybe home skill depending on some situation, or barm off, but your real are probably on some other are on some other you know um mecha, right, or like on range mecha, right? So there isn't really a lot of choice for Rhea, but now with now with her for a second, yeah, now with Nureha, she can heal Rhea when she's in a combo or when she just gets stunned or something. So a very strong combo skill to have. Yeah, second will be Dormouse, but I think Dormouse is hard to compare with this, with her skill, because Dormouse cannot heal when you're being grabbed, right? When you get grabbed, Dormouse cannot do anything. It couldn't save your life, but she can potentially save your life by just keep on healing you during a combo. Because into this meta, if you get grabbed, you're likely gonna be dead. But if you're healing while you're being grabbed, maybe there's a chance that you may survive. Maybe. So, yeah. So that should be it. Honestly, that should be it. Like, she doesn't have anything else, else that is really worth mentioning. So yeah. I mean, her art is pretty cool though. Yeah, her art is pretty cool, and she already got a 2D live. I guess the dev also really liked. I mean, her design is pretty nice. So, is she worth $30 getting? No, not at all. The best way to get her is just to wait for her in the cafe. As for a new player, you don't want to get her right away, because her skill is only really useful in top PvP, where in top PvP where getting grabbed a lot, and this skill can slightly increase your survivability by a little bit, but in top meta, even the slightly attack can make a difference. Thus, a top player, which are usually whales, they will get Nureha, because they already have the money and they want to have this little edge. But for average player, you don't need this. Yeah, for an average player, don't. Just don't. Like, don't spend money on on this thing. So yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really help Rhea, yeah. But, again, still, if you like her, right? If you like her design, you get her. Just know that she is only good as a co-pilot skill. So, yeah, just a heads up. Like, don't be regretful when you get her, because, you need to know what you were getting into. What you want, if you're a new player, you want to get the pilots you want to get Byron, you want to get Melulu, you want to get some other, or Linda, some other pilots like that, where they have awakened, that have proven to be good, and not some new pilot that will probably get awakened, 20 years down the line. So yeah. So definitely, and of course those pilots are easy to get too, compared to Nureha as well. So yeah. Alright, so that should be it about Nureha, and now we have the new one, the Unohana. Now, okay, same thing. Now, ignore all of her other skills, because you're not gonna be using them at all. Sally, again, same what's it called? Same drill as the old one. Now, her active skill is a little bit cool, because her active skill does apply additional damage, which again, as I told you guys before, additional damage does not count in this. Wouldn't be showed in tests, and it wouldn't be counted in the results. And this skill will also ignore pretty much everything, right? Now, this will be a good skill, but it's only for 10 seconds, and 10 seconds, even though it's a long time, but I don't think it's enough. And you need to have her use this skill as well, and that means you need to use her as an active pilot. You will never use her as active pilot, so this skill is garbage. So, and you don't want to active skill as your co-pilot skill either, because it takes way too long for it to activate. So, but anyway, just know, just all her skill you can ignore. And now we have the really good but also interesting co-pilot skill that might even worth the $30 depending on the situations, right? So what she does is that she will put ally into stealth after they perform an action, which is pretty insane if you think about it, right? When you see in today's PvP, when you're at your most vulnerable is the time between your action, the time between your action, your mechas using an action onto another action, like this period are the most vulnerable time of your mecha, right? So having this time to be stealth are extremely helpful and just make you able to literally stay invincible. If I mean, obviously not every time, right? Because it's every 7 seconds there are cooldown, but you know how it can be pretty insane in PvP, right? Especially when essentially you're covering the only weaknesses modern pilots have. Yeah, and of course, yeah, can also combo with Taulu as well. So, however, right, the problem with this skill is that your melee units or your units that have faster actions will be going into stealth much more than your range units, especially when your range units now are or not. They're not D meta, but you are using some ranged units as your DPS or as your debuff, right? So if you're not using so if you're not using if you're using like 2 melee, 2 range, right? And let's say your 2 melee are tanks, right? Your tanks are gonna go into stealth more than your range that you're supposed to protect, making your range more vulnerable. This is something that might happen and have happened to top players. So just something to keep in mind of. It is a very strong skill in PvP right now, because it can make you be not vulnerable during the exchange. But let's see if you're using things like Bahamut or if you're using things like Lilith, then that's fine, because when the enemy targets those units, they'll get stunned. But let's say if you're using things like Dream Guardian, you're using things like what's it called? Like Chorus, right? Then they will become more vulnerable to enemies' attack and can potentially die, because your tanks, your Gaogaigar, your Cheetian, those meat walls are being protected more than your range unit that you're supposed to be protecting. So this can create problem. However, personally, it never caused too much problem for me. But let's say if you feel like your range are dying a lot more than it should be, right? Especially when you have some meat wall in front, then maybe you can consider, hey, maybe I should try a team without this skill to see how it performs, right? Because again, your melee unit are definitely gonna be using this, are going to be going into stealth much more than your range units. So, because a lot of times range units are using their weapons instead of their actions, right? So yeah, that means your range unit will be targeted like majority of the time compared to your tanks, which again can be a problem, right? You want Gaoegar to be taking a damage, you want Cheetian, you want Mazinga Zero to be taking a damage instead of your range units. So like even for Lilith and for Bahamut, where they want to be targeted, you honestly don't want them to be targeted that often. You kind of still want the damage to be on Mazinger Zero instead, right? So yeah. So that should be it about Unohana. And is it worth $30 to get this mecha for Hardbox? No. Yeah, definitely not. This skill is not essential. It's another thing where it's for top players, where this skill, this $30 can improve a little bit of your chance of winning. But for new player, no. Yeah, not for new players, and definitely not for 30. Even for top players, I'm not using this skill, and I can only get to top 50. So you don't need this skill. It's just for top player who want a little bit more of an edge, depending on the team, right? So yeah, of course you can use this skill in Zenith, where you're using all melee units. Then obviously that would be pretty good, because your melee units can be constantly going to stealth, and this skill will be very good for that. But is it worth it to spend $30 for this one? I don't think so. So I don't know. It's hard knowing that the opposite Himiko Tower can honestly grab your Lilith and kick her out of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you don't want that to happen, right? You don't want that to happen. So if takeover can make that happen more often, then then you probably shouldn't. You probably should switch this skill out to see what might work better, right? So obviously, again, EM meta might be different. Maybe when the time Taulu can come out, you can use the skill. Who knows, right? Who knows? Or maybe one day this skill will become a meta right now, right? So who knows? But it'll be in the future. But for now, at least, it's not worth it. For now, it's definitely not worth it. Just wait for her in the cafe. Give her like a +20 gift. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. And for new players, especially, you want to get Linda, you want to get Byron, you want to get those other units first before you get these addition. Like these are essentially just a little pet, or not a little pet, but a little new parts for your team. That's it. Like it's a little cog in your team that is not necessary. Like if she's out of your team is like slightly a little bit less weaker, but you can still RNG win the people with you can still RNG win the people with this character with this character on the team. So yeah. Alright, so that should be it about the new pilots, and if I recommend them or not. So yeah. Alright, so now let's get into the Tawil Retrofit, which is the newest one lately, which I don't want to talk about a little bit, even though I don't have too much experience about it. So now, Tawil Awakened. Now I'm gonna talk about Tawil's problem back then, right? Tawil's problem back then is that its counter can be countered. Yeah, its counter can be countered, which is dumb. Or I guess when it counters, right? Tawil is gonna go grab the units, but it can every counters right into this meta is a force grab. It won't be anti-grab by the enemies. But for Tawil, you can when you counter, the people who fall down are Tawil. So yeah, enemy hits you, Tawil counter, Tawil falls down because it gets anti-grabbed. That's one big problem for Tawil, where its counters itself. So it just kind of dies. So and Taulu back then also doesn't have any collision damage, which makes a lot of damage percentage into this meta. And it also, I guess, just have a really old moveset compared to a lot of the enemies. Now, its good side was that his X ult and stuff like that, they can do its X ult and its ult can do all AoE heal. So basically, if you couldn't kill Taulu used one of his X ult, right? If he used one of his X ult, then it can heal back to full health, because Taulu can just AoE heals take HP from everyone and making him full health and potentially killing the enemy entire team. Because yeah, people back then used Taulu as same way we use Dream Guardian today, where they'll put in a mecha, or they'll put in a pilot that can use action immediately. So Taulu will immediately uses its X ult, and it will kill everyone on the field. That's what Taulu was used for back then. So you don't want Taulu to fight. You want Taulu to be a nuke, to nuke the enemy team. That was Taulu's rule. But after a little bit, after new mecha come out that you couldn't one-shot them, then Taulu starting when you start couldn't nuking the enemies, then Taulu start falling off. However, with the Retrofit buffs, all of his, every single one of his its weakness are solved. So let's have it for the first one. Now, Taulu's problem, again, another problem is its survivability, right? You're using Taulu as a nuke, not as a tank, right? So it's really hard to survive if we couldn't nuke the enemy team. Thus, final damage received -30%, pure and simple, increases survivability by a lot, and that'll be pretty awesome. So there isn't much to say. And enter void teleport immunity for 1 point. And teleport immunity, that's just also good. So just a really good survivability increase for Taulu to survive into this meta, because without this, Taulu is gonna get instant killed. And of course, its counter are also force grab now, so it can actually not get countered by itself now, which also greatly increases its Taulu. Well, actually, back then it might be good that Taulu is at low health, so it can activate its second seal, so it can nuke even harder. But now Taulu can be can stand up on its own now, I guess. So yeah. And second chances, now it's pretty much the same with all of these unknown, all these void mecha, is that when their HPs go to a certain point, it will unlock second seal to increase to have some BSFX, right? Now, now Taulu Awaken does not need the HP, does not need the HP thing anymore, making Taulu able to nuke. Oh wait, Exxon. Wait, hold on, Exxon. Wait, TRS is here. Yeah, so making Taulu able to use its very strong Exalt immediately to do basically nuke us before as NC, right? And Jesus Christ, TRS is here. I'm a bit nervous now because I feel like I might say something too crazy. But yeah, welcome though, welcome TRS, welcome. But yeah, so basically, back then Taulu can nuke the field. Now any pilot, you don't need to use the Bermuda anymore. You can use pretty much almost any pilot to nuke the field. Now, especially with this steel increase, because what this steel increase does is that it increased final damage value by 60%. You hear me right? 60% final damage value goes over firm steel. You do this when the XL can heal the entire, can take the HP from the entire field. Like it's an AOE heal. That's first of all, Taulu pre-awakened, pre-retrofit Taulu doesn't do as much damage because of its AOE heals. So it couldn't do as much damage, or else it would be too broken. Now it completely, first of all, obviously is action above. It's action above. It also added collision, damage, and of course now with the second steel, without needing the second, without needing the HP unlock, now you can just start nuking immediately and immediately start taking every HP from everyone on the field, or every enemy on the field. So it's amazing increase. So yeah, for Taulu is for Taulu is really like I guess Taulu is weak at Taulu is weak at survivability. Then the dev give it final damage reduction, and also give it and it also increase, or it also fixes the counter to be able to not get knocked down anymore. And of course, just I guess I don't even know anymore. Just everything that Taulu is bad at is now has now been fixed per se, I guess. Yeah. And however, again, I don't have as much experience using Taulu myself. But from the people that I fight against, Taulu is definitely usable in PvP. Yeah, it's more than usable in PvP actually, because now it's now it can do more damage now, and it can actually survive now. So in PvP, it's definitely nukeable. It can nuke. That can do the nuke. It can survive. It can do damage, and everything is awesome. However, I have to say this 100 times again. Never, or if you don't have Taulu, if you have Taulu, 100%. If you have a 7-star, make it retrofit. Very, very worth it. However, if you don't have it at all, or if you don't have 5-star or something, don't. Never ever get old. Never ever get old units. The thing about Taulu is that, right? Taulu is still an old unit. A lot of his action still suffer from the same problems that a lot of the old units has. It's not as, I guess, how to say, smooth, and I guess as just the property is not as good as some of the recent mecha. From Dante, from what's called what was I gonna say, from Virgil or some other mecha nowadays. So, but this is a problem for every new mecha retrofit. Same thing, it's same with Himiko, it's same with some other things. It's just that they kind of make this unit usable in modern meta now, but the problem still persists. And of course, it will be outdated. It will be outdated much sooner than other mecha, especially when new mecha are coming out every which days. So yeah. And TRS, I hope I say everything right, because I know you're expert on Taulu. If you have anything to add, please add, because I don't want to give out misinformation, but this is my experience back in NC, and from what I know from asking the NC wiki guide. So yeah, please let me know if I say anything wrong. And yeah, is that it? I guess I want to say for Taulu, right? Back then, even before Taulu Retrofit, Taulu was a huge nuke back then. Like back then, people used Taulu as if we used Dream Guardian now, where you just nuke the enemies to oblivion. But the pilot that they use are the Ultraman pilots, which Ian couldn't get. However, in Ian now, right? In Ian now, it doesn't need that. Yeah, in Ian, it doesn't need Bermude, whatever that pilot is again. It can just do what it does without him. Yeah, without him anymore. So, yeah. However, from what I understand, that is that Taulu was used back then for a little bit, but it wasn't for long. After a while, I just don't see Taulu anymore. However, Taulu is still definitely a usable mecha. I mean, as usable as Himiko or some other mecha. Yeah. But again, yeah. For those who have Taulu, definitely Retrofit. For those who don't have Taulu, save for Chitian, save for anything. Save for all of those things. Don't get old units. Do not get old units, man. Don't get old units. It's not worth it. So, for the builds, he's definitely living a living nuke with new unit, nuke too fast. Right? Well, the difference is that Taulu can nuke everyone, right? Taulu nukes everyone on the field, not just one unit, right? Yeah, Taulu can nuke, like, it can one-shot everyone, well, not one-shot, like, but, it's a nuke for everyone on the field instead of just one person, which is, pretty great, so, yeah. And what else? Oh, yeah, so, what was I gonna say? Okay, so, but the thing is, however, even though it has, or one of his actions has, the HP absorb, right? It's not gonna go over. It's not gonna go over G mode. So if you are, let's say you're fighting against Dante or Virgil, right? Dante and Virgil is gonna just swim around Taulu, as if nothing. Well, probably not as if it's nothing, but it wouldn't be as affected as some other mecha, right? But again, oh well. Gmo is Gmo, right? Even though there's so many things that go over Gmo now, Gmo is still Gmo, so pretty sad, I guess, for Town. but still, it's pretty good, yeah. Still, I mean, it's not like people need to use Virgil and Dante right now, so yeah. Alright, I think that's everything, right? Have I go over everything? TRS, if you're still here, is there anything I need to talk about? I didn't go over the build because I don't know the builds for Taulu. I just talk about how Taulu was and how Taulu is as well. So, whichever company deal them similar to bear from PvE. Now, so Gaogaigar beats the DPS of everyone by a margin. So yeah, after Gaogaigar come out, just forget about everything. Forget about Himiko. Forget about Dante. Forget about forget about everything. Yeah, forget about Dante. Forget about Virgil. Not Virgil. Forget about Dante. Forget about Himiko. Forget about Rebellion, because the main DPS is going to be your 7-star Gaogaigar. Nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. Skip everything else. Yeah, literally skipping the free-to-play Gaogaigar might even do more damage, or on par, or just a little bit less. But just yeah. Don't need to overthink about this one. Just get Gaogaigar, and you're done. Yeah, and you're good. And the funny thing is, if we're talking about what's after, right? Then Kueilong is after. Yeah, Kueilong. So yeah, and then we got Kueilong. Kueilong is another DPS that just one-upping. That just one-upping the meta. So, or the PvE meta. Then after that, we got potentially the newest mecha right now. That is what? That is the Kaguzuchi or something like that. Yeah, the Kaguzuchi is the newest mecha, which people have joked that it is a fire type Kueilong. Yeah, a fire type Kueilong, and I don't know about it yet. People have still had to test it yet, so I don't know. But it's looking pretty broken right now in both PvP and PvE. So yeah, see, in nowadays, even PvE player have to well now in this game. So oh well, at least it's cool, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not really fond of them using of them selling stats, even what I'm saying. So, I will. That should be everything. That should be everything I'm talking about today. I'm gonna be rolling something probably. Hold on, let me see. No, never mind. There's nothing to roll actually. There's Taulu. Maybe I can get Taulu awaken. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing to roll actually. I'm probably gonna redeem a Leviathan using Super Z. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna redeem a Leviathan. Yeah, that's about it. Yep. Just grab a Leviathan. That's about it. Is there anything else I need to do? Alright. So guys, you guys have any more questions? If you guys have any questions, definitely tell me and I will answer them. Before I end the stream. So yeah. And of course, if you forgot to ask me anything, or if you couldn't think of anything right now, but you have a question for me later, you can always comment in the description, and you can also what's it called? Just tag me on Discord. So any more questions before I end? Leviathan plus Hongwu Ultimate AoE spam. We'll see though. Maybe. Because I don't. The thing is, I love the Leviathan's effect. I like Leviathan's effect. I don't want it to end too fast, but yeah. But probably though. I don't know anything about it yet. I haven't been PvP much, so yeah. I believe the next EM Mecha is Chi-Tian. So for those who is wondering if you should roll Himiko or Taulu right now, save for Chi-Tian. Yeah, save for Chi-Tian. Chi-Tian is Sun Wukong in China. So you know they have to make the unit strong, right? So actually, you know what? Hold on. I might as well tell you guys how strong Chi-Tian is right now. So just give you guys an idea, you know, to not roll for what? To not roll for the stupid what? Like Obama is good, but like to not roll for Himiko or Taulu, right? Unless you already have them. But hold on. Let me see if I can show you guys. Honestly, I can already see it now. Yeah, Chi-Tian. Perma 6 clone on the field. Yeah, perma 6. Yeah, perma 6. Summons on the field. That will also use his action. It got shield. It got anti-decel. It got this huge AOE. It got all this and that. I mean, why don't you save for this guy? Instead of why don't you save for this guy? And look at the screen. Everything's a smoke. Not just that, right? It's also good in both PvP and PvE. Now, it's not a top in PvE. It's not a top in PvE, right? It's in PvE, right? It's good. It's usable because you have so much unit blasting the boss at once, making it usable. But it's obviously not a top. Yeah, it's obviously not a top. So you don't even need Linda for it to have huge, because Sun Wukong have its Jingu Bang, right, where it can increase its length by a lot. So yeah. And now imagine this with a strong pilots, right? And also hold on. Also, what's it called? What was I gonna say? And also its defensibility are also stupid. Let me show you guys what. Okay, so you see this 35 right here, right? 35%. Damage. Final damage reduction 35%. First of all, that's already pretty strong. But against normal, fire, electric, and acid, which means the only attribute that wouldn't be affected are beam and ice, I think, and explosion, I think. Yeah, only those things have double amount of the final damage reduction. So 70%. No. I think it's 35 times 35. If not, like, yeah, it's either 35 times 35 or 70%. I think it's 70% though. I think 70% final damage reduction. Hold on. So let me talk. Okay, so this means you do 100 damage after firm steel. You're gonna minus 70. You're gonna minus that by 70. So you're only gonna take 30 damage. Okay, so like, Chi-Tian is stat monsters. Just hey, I just casually take 70% less damage. Why not, right? Why not? Oh, yeah, I'm also immune to burning. Also immune to immune to burning, immune to paralyzation, immune to acid, immune to blow up. Like, then is it, the thing about, see, this skill is called 金刚不坏. That's a skill back in, that's a skill for Sun Wukong, which, which makes it immune to everything, right? Immune to pretty much everything, and also give it overwhelming defense. What a skill that matches its lore, What a skill, man. What would need to come out? The Retrofit, in my opinion, is the useless mecha that can use. Oh, really? Well, see, like, if you're in top PvP right now, right? Then yeah, that probably is, yeah. However, Saga Rosetta is if not the best free-to-play PvP units right now. So yeah, you can use it in PvP, but you can go back to my guide on it to see how you do use it. But I do get it, because you're coming to Mecha today. Yeah, it will lag a little bit. However, just know that it is the best. Yeah, it is the best. When you new money come out? It should be in 5 days, which Cheaten will come out. Yeah, Cheaten. I mean, I guess you can roll with Cheaten and replace your Deer Stalker with Cheaten, and that would be good. Cheaten, you only need 7 star, so yeah, very worthy. So, well, you do want 8 star, but 7 stars is enough. Yeah, 8 star. Well, actually, you might not want 8 star actually. I'll talk about it when I get into the guide for Cheaten. So, yeah. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Oh, and of course, once Gaga collab come out, you can also use the 2 of the free collab as the pilot, so, or as the PvP mecha. So. Any more, guys? Any more questions, guys? If not, I'll end the stream soon. Again, everything I talked about will be timestamped in the comments and in the description. Just go down there and get to wherever you want to watch. So yeah. Any more questions? Any more questions? If not, I'll call it a day. Well, the new pilot looks amazing, actually. I don't even want to check how good the new pilot is. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna do my daily. I'm gonna do my dailies, and after I finish doing my dailies, if I got no questions, or not dailies, I'll just claim these things, and after I get these, if there's still no more questions, then I'll call it a day. And also, thank you all so much for being here, though. Definitely please consider sharing the stream, subscribing, and all that. It'll help the stream out a lot. My Bahamut stream got over 1,100 views, which my live stream usually doesn't get that much. At least in the first 2 weeks. But Bahamut got a lot of views. Thank you all so much. So yeah, thank you all very, very much. So the new ASMR when? Soon. Yeah, I know I haven't been making a lot of ASMR. This week has been incredibly busy. Like, I'm in a hotel right now. Yeah, I'm in a hotel right now because, things have been happening. So just, yeah. Because if you wonder why I'm streaming in 180p today, it's because I'm not really trusting the hotel Wi-Fi to keep me up to 4K. So yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, alright. I'm gonna log into my other account just to do my dailies, and after that I'll be calling it a day. So go into my alt. And again, our Discord and all the useful links are in the description. So just come by if you guys come on to the street if you guys have any questions. So also reminder, my newest video, Hardcore Mecha Revelation. Share that stream with some other Discord or some other forums, because that game is a game that I will definitely be playing. Yeah, that game is definitely a game I'll be playing and I'll be making a content of, and I'll be also streaming about that game as well. That game looks extremely promising, and I'll definitely try out the Steam version soon. So yeah. Dude, does ASMR? Rory-kun, you're here? You don't know I do ASMR now? Okay, check my channel. Check my channel. It should have a second. It should have a Rory, you were here the whole time. I didn't know. Welcome, Rory. Welcome. Okay, hold on. think I can do some ASMR right now. Oh, I don't have a mic with me, but most of my ASMR are boyfriend role plays and stuff like that. Just some mention ASMR. Jesus. Okay, Rory, if you have any I didn't think that's something you did. Well, okay, so something happened, right? Something happened recently that made me just go YOLO in life because I was betrayed by a friend or someone who I thought was a good friend of mine. So I'm just like, you know what? Okay, no. See, look, see. Okay. See, first of all, for Iron Saga content, right? Most of them are for, you know, okay, first of all, a lot of people likes my, I guess, Shota noises, I guess. Like my, you know, this Shota noises and stuff like that. So I'm just like, you know what? I already wanted to end myself a few days, you know, a few months ago. Why don't I try something? You know, why don't I try something new, right? So I'm just like, all right, you know what? Let's try this ASMR. You know, I don't have much female audience yet. You know, so why don't I make a new channel for the ASMR? I can go for both demographics, you know, and that would be pretty good. And plus, it is something that I am passionate about. You know, making people happy and stuff like that. So yeah. But I mean, Rory, if you have any suggestions, tell me, because I don't know anything about this. I was going in blind, so yeah. Endgame just didn't repeat. Not really. Well, the thing is, endgame are PvP. Yeah, endgame are PvP and do. It's funny because I want to try it, but I have a bunch of stuff to edit. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. When you do make them, yeah, sure. We can even collab if you want. Yeah, we can even collab on SMR. You know, I'm on the right, you on the left, or you on the left, I'm on the right, or we're together, and I think that'll be pretty awesome. You know, because you know, one, you know, like we can do a boyfriend ASMR where, you know, the guy, like the person is in the middle and we're on one side and he's on the other side, and I think that would be pretty awesome as well. See, marketing, not marketing, but like collab ideas. Collab ideas. Nice. But yeah, what's it called? Endgame is not that boring. Well, how do you say? Endgame is to keep up your rankings in PvPs, especially in Apex and in Zenith, so you can get rules when new mecha comes, so you can get the mechas you want. That's the endgame for me. And then occasionally you will have some huge events such as Dimension Odyssey, the new core bosses and stuff like that, and those you start using your whole arsenal and be awesome. So yeah, I think endgame can be pretty fun if you know what you're doing, or if you just try to discover a little bit more, and it should be fine. So yeah, just explore around more, see what you can do. So yeah. Also, wait, Rory, when were you here? You didn't talk at all. I also wonder if TRS was still here. So, alright. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here, though. Yeah. Alright, well, any more questions, guys? Any more questions? If not, I'll be calling it a day. Again, thank you all so much for being here today. Oh, I'm tired. I'm just looking. But still thank you so much, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna put up. Yeah, still thank you so much, though. Yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you, man. I might. Oh my god, I got 2 subs. Thank you so much. And again, for Hardcore Mecha, new Mecha mobile game, Hardcore Mecha coming out soon. So finish. Oh, actually, yeah, Rory, there's a game on Steam right now called Hardcore Mecha. That's a game that I'm pretty interested with. If you want to play online, we can actually play online, even as a collab as well if you want to. So, yeah. Awesome. Alright, any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Is it free? Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. Oh, I can get it for you if you want. It's only like $6 right now, I think. So, yeah, if you want. Well, if you like mecha, though, because if I remember correctly, you don't like any mecha games that isn't Iron Saga, right? Or something? Because it is a pure mecha game, so, yeah. It might not be worth it if you don't play mecha games, so. Yeah. If you like mecha, then we can definitely, play that game together, but if you don't like mecha, then I'm not sure if it's too worth it because it'll just be for the stream. But yeah. Oh, speaking of Rory, I have a. I forget what it is about anyway. Well, we can talk about we can talk about it later too if you want. Oh, and also for those who don't know, and for those who play Power World, I have a Power World server up. That's costing me like $30 a month to uphold it. So please consider playing on it. Yeah, Power server, Minecraft server, all those things are up. The IPs are in our Discord. So if you guys want to know the IP, just tag me and you guys can play on our Power server and play on our Minecraft server. So yeah, just something to keep the community engaging as well. So like all fun League of Legends. Yeah, to be honest, they are Chinese companies, so Chinese company copies a lot of the things. Like even they even copy themselves. Some of these skills, a lot of them are copied from their own mecha. So like yeah. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Any more questions? Ah. No questions? Well, thank you all so much for being here today. It's been a very fun stream as always. Of course I'll be doing more streams, and also please consider subscribing to my second channel. I'll be doing a lot of non-Iron Saga streams or some other game streams. On the on that channel, and also stay tuned for a Mecha break video soon that I'll be posting as well. I'll be editing it tonight probably. I'll be busy for tonight and tomorrow, but I'll try to edit it tonight so I can post it on tomorrow, alright? So just keep everything engaging. But for now, please consider sharing the Mecha break, the hardcore Mecha videos. Thank you all so much. Alright, well. Yeah, thank you. Love you guys. Thank you all so much.